Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is exciting. It is day 2 of the National Activity Providers and Professionals Week. My name is Hilary Woodhead. I'm the Executive Director at the National Activity Providers Association. And it is an honour for NAPA to host this wonderful celebration in recognition of the incredible contributions of activity providers and professionals nationwide. Today, I'd like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our main sponsor, Belong Villages, and our celebration sponsor, Majesticare Luxury Care Homes. Their unwavering support in making this week-long celebration possible is really appreciated. In this session, I am thrilled to announce NAPA's theme for 2024, which is the Year of Belonging. Unfortunately, due to a bereavement, my guest, Emma Hewitt, Head of Dementia at King Care Homes, is unable to join me today. But I'm sure you will all join me in sending her our love at this difficult time. She has taken the time, however, to send us this message. She says, "Thank you for the invitation to speak to you today. I am sorry that I am unable to be there. NAP Week is a significant occasion that celebrates the important efforts and dedication of activity providers across the nation. It shines a spotlight on the profound impact of engaging and meaningful activities in the lives of individuals who live in care settings. It is a week that reminds us all of the power of connection, joy, and inclusivity that well-crafted person-centered activities bring to people's lives. I am confident about the spirit of NAP Week 24, that it will enable and inspire and energise everyone involved. And I look forward to joining you in the future. Thank you, Emma." Thank you, Emma. So, as we launch the NAPA Year of Belonging, I have been reflecting on what it means to belong. For me, it's about feeling part of something, whether it's a particular group of people, such as my best friends from uni, a place such as my lovely home here in Brighton, or an entity like an association such as NAPA. I know I belong when I feel loved, valued, or respected. Belonging goes beyond physical presence. For me, it is about feeling understood and connected on a deeper level. That's what gives me a sense of purpose. NAPA's Year of Belonging is not just another campaign. It's a movement that's aimed at building stronger, more inclusive communities where every individual can feel valued, heard, and cherished. We believe that the power of belonging can transform lives and create a ripple effect of positivity that extends beyond immediate circles. It's about reaching out to those who might feel isolated or disconnected and extending a hand of friendship, compassion, and support. Throughout this year-long campaign, we will be embarking on a journey to strengthen the bonds within our communities. We'll be providing resources to support care services to encourage dialogue, understanding, and empathy. We'll be showcasing incredible stories of individuals who have found belonging in unexpected places, inspiring us all to seek connections in our own lives. To support our theme, we have published a comprehensive toolkit designed to assist activity providers and professionals in creating inclusive and engaging experiences. We hope this toolkit will serve as a valuable resource. It offers practical tips, innovative ideas, and best practice examples to help you promote a culture of belonging in your activities and events. Looking ahead, I'm excited to share news about 2 upcoming conferences. The first will be held in Birmingham in July, followed by another in Edinburgh in September. These conferences will provide valuable networking opportunities, insightful discussions, and platforms for sharing expertise with activity provider communities. NAPA members can book their tickets via the activity shed now. But our commitment to making a difference doesn't just end there. We want you to demonstrate your commitment too. Please get involved with our STEP challenge. 10,000 steps a day we're asking you to do. And we hope you will get involved, raise some funds, and help us to make dreams come true through our Living the Dream Fund. As a token of appreciation, we're delighted to announce special discounts for both our international and UK members. Utilise provided discount codes on qualifications. So for those of you interested in our professional development pathway, there are discounts available during NAP week and up until the end of January for our level 2 and level 3 qualifications in activity provision. We also have a massive sale on in our shop during NAP week. We have created a number of resources for upcoming events such as Chinese New Year, Black History Month for our friends in the States, St. David's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. The list goes on and on. NAPA members can access all of those resources in the activity shed, and for non-members, they can be purchased in the shop. We also have some publications available now on Amazon too, activity planners, sketch and colouring materials, etc. So head over to Amazon where you'll find those too. We hope that this theme of belonging will enable you to connect with each other. For those of you who do not yet have access to our Facebook groups, please get in touch with us. We'd love you to be able to join our communities online. So now it's time to answer a few questions from those of you who are viewing today. And I think we've had a couple of questions sent ahead of time as well. So the first question that I can see that's come up is from Anna. What does NAPA mean? Thank you for that, Anna. Yes, it is short. It is short for something. It stands for the National Association for Activity Providers. We are the Wellbeing Association here in the UK for care and support services and the professional body for activity providers. We're the only charitable association dedicated to supporting and championing the needs of activity providers and professionals. Everything we do in consultation with our members and activity providers and professionals. So if you'd like to find out more about us, Anna, do drop us a line. We'd love to tell you a little bit more about the membership. The next question that's coming up is from Jazz. How do I join NAPA? Hi, Jazz. Yes, so there are various ways to get in touch, and hopefully some of those will come up in the chat just now. But NAPA membership is open to organisations that provide care and support services to adults with care and support needs. So that could be care homes, hospitals, domiciliary care services, hospices, and services that provide care for people in assisted living. So anybody who works in one of those settings or the organisation itself can become a NAPA member. Any other questions that have come up just yet, Beth? If you could pop them up for me, that would be great. Thank you. This one is from Serge. What benefits does NAPA membership offer? Well, they change each year. So every year we run from the membership year runs from April to March. So from the 1st of April to the 31st of March, you can join NAPA at any point during that year. But each year on the 1st of April, we publish our new benefits for that year. So there are a range of benefits that members receive for being part of the association. There is, of course, being part of the association. That is the main benefit. But also there are benefits associated with access to resources. We have a platform, a practice development platform called the Activity Shed, where you can access guidance and information that will support your practice. We also have a range of networking opportunities from online forums to conferences that I've just mentioned, and regional events too. And there are always opportunities to learn through NAPA. So members receive discounts on qualifications, access to conferences, etc. So if you're a member, you get to hear about those events a little bit earlier than our non-members. So that's another incentive too. The next question that's come up, hi Marcy, how can I become a member of NAPA? So to become a NAPA member, you visit our website, which is very easy to find on Google. We'll put the link in the chat. You can navigate our membership section. There's a whole page that's dedicated to what's involved in being a member and how to become a member, and the application form is there too. And what is the Living the Dream Fund? So yes, those of you who joined us yesterday, you would have heard a little bit about the Living the Dream Fund. This is part of our positive aging campaign, Grow Old Disgracefully. It's a NAPA initiative that we've set up to support people, older people, to fulfill their dreams and ambitions. So if you'd like to hear more about that, please head over to our page, our dedicated page. We have a resource pack that will tell you all about the Living the Dream Fund. If you'd like to fundraise for us, if you fancy, a skydive or hosting a coffee morning or doing the London to Brighton bike ride, you can raise money for the Living the Dream Fund. If you'd like to make somebody's dream come true, then you can apply when the next fund opens. So you would have heard, those of you who were here yesterday, you would have heard that the successful recipients of our winter fund have been announced, and our spring fund will open very soon. And then there's a follow-on question from Mac. Again, Mac, how can I apply? Yeah, so as I said, we will announce that the fund has reopened. So keep an eye on the website or sign up to NAPA News. And then we ask you to submit a formal proposal outlining your idea, how you're going to make someone's dream come true, why it's important to that individual, and what you think the impact will be. There will be a judging process where our panel looks at all of the applications. We were very excited to receive over 50 applications for the Winter Fund. And then we will announce the successful recipients. If you're not successful, it doesn't mean that you won't be. So do try again. It might be that we just need a little bit more information for the next round. This one is from Jen. What events does NAPA organise throughout the year? Yeah, thank you for that, Jen. That gives me a bit more chance to tell you a little bit more about the events that we've got planned. So this year, for the Year of Belonging, we will, as announced as part of NAP Week, so that's the first event. But those conferences will take place in the summer, in July in Birmingham, and then in September in Edinburgh in Scotland. So we're really excited to have 2 conferences this year, and you can, after this webinar, the tickets will be available, so for early birds. So if you're an early bird and you want to get in there and you want to make sure that you've got your ticket for the NAPA conference, you can sign up today. We also have regular monthly forums. So we have the RAIN network, which is Resources and Activity Information Network, where activity providers can come together, hear about from experts in the field on specialist topics. They can talk to each other and gain some support, and just keep in touch really with what NAPA's doing, but also with other activity providers. And that happens monthly, and that's for all NAPA activity providers. We also have various training workshops, webinars. They, again, are rolling. So you can head over to our Eventbrite page and have a look at what's available. We have lots on this week, lots of continuous professional development opportunities, reminiscence, life story, and the use of dolls in activity provision are all available this week. And there'll be lots of new topics starting soon too. So again, keep an eye on NAPA News, keep an eye on the NAPA website, and you'll see what's coming up in your area, Jen. The next one is, oh, thank you. Nice comment here from Natalie, who runs the RAIN network. It is so good. If you're a member, you should come along. Absolutely, Natalie. Thank you for that. And we have another one here. This one is from Ben. Is NAPA involved in advocacy for activity providers? Oh, thank you, Ben. That's a really important question. And the answer, of course, is yes. So we are your association. We're your professional body. We're actively involved in advocating for the interests of activity providers. Everything that we do in consultation with our members and with the activity providers that are part of our networks. We want to be able to advocate for the role so that it's seen as a profession, but also so that it is prioritised in terms of workforce development and workforce funding. So if you have issues or concerns that pertain to the role of activity providers that you would like to raise with NAPA, please get in touch with us, and we will do all we can to support you and give you some free information and advice. but also to make sure that your message is heard when it comes to policy decisions that are made about social care and the impact on activity provision. Lots of questions today. How can I access NAPA's toolkits? Yes, the toolkits are becoming quite famous, quite popular. We are developing toolkits all the time, and we develop our toolkits based on the questions that are asked by activity and care teams through social media, through our various networks, through our various forums. The majority of NAPA's toolkits are available for free for members from our practice development platform, the Activity Shed. So members can log into the shed and they can download the latest toolkits, resources, guidance documents, etc. Many of the toolkits that aren't available, that are only available to members, are available to purchase in the shop for non-members too. So if you're a member and you're looking in the shop, just bear in mind that some of those may already be available to you in the Activity Shed. But if you're not a member and you want to be able to access those, many of them can be provided, can be bought from the shop. The other thing to bear in mind is we are involved in a whole range of funded projects that often result in a toolkit. Those toolkits are free to everybody. So they are on their free resource area of the website. So such as the Year of Belonging Toolkit, as that's our national campaign for 2024, that's free to download. We've just done a comprehensive piece of work where we consulted with activity providers and family carers about the impact on visits post-COVID and how we can perhaps support people to have more meaningful visits. That was funded by the National Lottery. That's another example of a toolkit that is free to all. So there's lots of information that anybody can access on the NAPA website, as well as those resources that are developed for members based on consultation with our members as well. Keep an eye on NAPA News. NAPA News, if you're subscribed to NAPA News, you will always be up to date with whatever's just coming out, and there are publications every week. So do keep in touch with us, and then you'll be able to be up to date with the next resource and also what's coming soon. If you are looking for something and it's not there, that's what we're here for. Please let us know. If there's an issue that's emerging for you as an activity provider, you want some the latest information on setting up an activity committee with the people that you support, for example, that's something we're working on at the moment. Please drop us a line, get in touch with the Activity Support Service, and we'll do all we can to make sure that we're developing information and guidance documents to support your practice. That's what we're here for. Adam, how does NAPA support professional development for its members? We are, as I said, an association, but we're also a learning provider endorsed by Skills for Care. And the provision of learning and development is a big part of NAPA's work. We have the professional development pathway for activity providers. So that will take activity providers from induction right through to becoming a NAPA recognised activity professional. And alongside that, we have our professional development programme. And in the programme, you'll see various ways in which you can develop your knowledge and skills, from e-learning courses to qualifications, opportunities to attend our webinars and workshops, as well as some examples of some of the courses that can be adapted. So courses that we can make sure meet your learning needs in your organisation. So we can come to you and provide face-to-face training for your team as well. So in the professional development programme, you'll see the various ways in which we can support you and your teams and your wider organisation with professional development as it relates to activity and engagement. So it's all there. And again, any questions that you have, you can get in touch with our head of professional development, Sue, and she'll be able to take you through what's available and also be able to talk to you about whether or not there is something that we could develop specifically for you and your organisation. Great. Roberto, can non-UK residents or organisations join NAPA? That is a really good question. Thank you for that, Roberto. So NAPA primarily focuses on the UK. However, we do have a particular offer for the activity shed access, and that's for our international friends. We work collaboratively with NAP in the US, with the Association Society for Diversion and Recreational Therapists in New Zealand, and in Australia too. So we have close connections with the various associations that support activity providers, recreational and diversional therapists. And we're really excited to be able to that we've developed this offer. And this really has been in response to our international colleagues getting in touch. We hear so much about NAPA and the activity shed. How can we access some of the resources? So we now have this international offer for activity shed use. And where we have connections in other parts of the world with various associations, we can put you in touch with them too. So if you are looking for an association, if you're wherever you are, Roberto, in the world, we can help you make connections where you are. So drop us a note and we'll do what we can to support you with that. But absolutely, we are absolutely delighted to be able to extend access to the activity shed. And now we've got Hannah. Hi, Hannah. So Hannah says, is NAPA involved in research related to activity provision in care settings? Absolutely. So one of our strategic priorities for the next 3 years is to develop our research activity. We collaborate with researchers, with academic institutions. Very important to us that we have an evidence base for everything that we do. Our learning and research coordinator, Anchor, provides us with information around the evidence to support our training courses and our toolkits through literature reviews. And we're involved in a whole range of research projects at the moment. So if you are a researcher that would like to know more about what we do, Hannah, in terms of research, please get in touch with Natalie, who leads on our research projects. And if you are a care service that would like to know more about getting involved in research, if you're an activity provider, we would love to hear from you too. So this is an area of activity that we're really keen to develop. And we've got some exciting projects on the go at the moment, which you'll be hearing about very soon. So thanks for that one. This is great. I could just sit here all day answering questions. I'm sure they're coming in thick and fast. We've got another one here. I think this one is from Sal. Sal says, how can NAPA members collaborate with each other? This is a really good question. I think sometimes activity providers can feel quite isolated. And in some settings, they're a lone voice. There's just one AP. Not in all, but in some. So it's really important to us that we provide a community for activity providers to connect with each other. And we do that, as I said before, through our online network, like the RAIN network, which is a monthly session, but also, of course, through our social media groups. Networking events, national and regional gatherings, these are all opportunities for you to meet each other, to share ideas, to pick each other's brains, really, about the things that work. Perhaps the things that you're finding difficult to implement. And if you are feeling quite lonely, just having somebody else that you can share that frustration with and connect with so that you feel you belong, that's really, really important. So if you are somebody who enjoys mentoring others, please let us know, because we're always looking for activity providers to support new activity providers in practice, or people or activity providers who are feeling particularly isolated. If you yourself need to connect, get in touch with the activity support line and we'll be able to help you with that. So that's a really, really good question and absolutely vital. I was an activity provider. I think I was one of the first in the country 30 years ago, and it was at times quite a lonely role. I think the second activity provider that I met at NAPA, I think one of the first NAPA sharing days, I met in the queue, I'm still friends with now, all this time later. So, making those connections is really, really important. So thank you for that. And the next question, this might be one of the last ones, I think, in terms of the time we've got, is from Emma. Emma says, what opportunities does NAPA provide for recognition and awards in the field of activity provision? So NAP Week is all about recognition. It's all about celebrating activity providers and providing opportunities to update and refresh on knowledge. So that's one of the things. And we start the year with this. Start end of January, NAP Week every year. But also throughout the year, we have various ways in which we recognise and celebrate what activity providers do. So some of our partner organisations have award ceremonies where they also celebrate activity coordinators and activity providers, and we support them with that. Either we as judges or sharing the opportunity. And we also have our own award ceremony as well, which takes place every year. Usually that takes place in the autumn, but we've decided actually from next year, from 2025, that it will be the grand finale, if you like, of NAP Week. So next year, this year's award ceremony will be at the end of NAP Week next year. We also have a monthly recognition scheme, which is Activity Provider of the Month, which is a social media kind of comms exercise to get activity providers to share what they're doing and get used to using social media, but also to demonstrate how they use what they learn from NAPA in their practice, so how NAPA supports them. So we'd really like to hear how you're using our resources, perhaps our training course you've been on has informed an activity that you're doing, and for an opportunity to be celebrated as Activity Provider of the Month. NAPA News has had a little bit of a facelift this week. Actually, we're very excited. We've got a new look NAPA News, and as part of the relaunch of NAPA News for 2024, we'd love to be able to share your stories. So if you've done something, tried something new, have learned something new and tried it out and it's worked, we would really, really love to hear about it, and we'll share it with the world. We'll share it with the thousands of NAPA News subscribers that we have. And again, also, if you tag us on social media, we'll reshare some of those examples as well. So recognition is important throughout the year. Those big events are great. It's lovely to get dressed up and it's great to go home with a trophy or certificate, but actually recognition is in the fabric of everything that we do. So yeah, please tell us what you're up to. Tell us about your colleagues and the work that they're doing. We also want to hear about good activity provision and the involvement of your colleagues and your community. So yes, we celebrate the role of the AP, but actually we know that you're leading the band. But actually, there are lots of other colleagues and lots of other services that are supporting activity provision too. So tell us about those projects that you're involved in, the work of your colleagues. We get some great examples about how the maintenance person has got involved in activities. We get some great examples about how night staff are getting more involved in the planning of activity provision through the gathering of information at night. We have some great toolkits that help activity providers to work with their catering teams and vice versa and build good relationships there. We developed a toolkit just around that theme with Lakeland Dairies last year that again is available to download from the website. And very importantly, and this is something, of course, that we're really keen to celebrate and recognise, is that essential relationship that activity providers have with their managers. We have a very close collaboration and partnership with My Home Life, and we've developed a toolkit to support managers and activity providers. And in there are some great examples of what makes this relationship work and how to overcome some of the challenges sometimes. So, you know, recognition of the relationships that enable activity provision to work well is also part of what we'd like to share over the next year. So I'm just looking at the time. It's almost 11:30. So that's my cue to wind up. Thank you very much for your questions. If I haven't got to all your questions, we'll do our best to make sure that they're answered on the chat on Facebook. So have a look there. Thank you for joining me this morning. We hope you feel, as I do, that sense of belonging that is so important for activity providers. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the week. This evening, we will be live on our partners page, NAP US, on their Facebook page. We're chatting to our American colleagues about activity provision in the States and kind of their plans for 2024. and we'll also be sharing some of our plans with recreational therapist activity directors across the United States too. So we hope you'll join us this evening, but for now, thank you and see you soon. Bye for now.